Okay. So the prior knowledge and concepts that students that we would have already done prior to this lesson would have been identifying emotions. So and the characteristics that come with emotions, like when you're happy, smiling, sad, crying, things like that. So with that, today, that leads into today's lesson of I can identify reasons why someone may have low self-esteem and reasons why someone may have positive self-esteem. I have passed them all out a paper to kind of follow along with the lesson. At the start, we'll have what we're starting with, which is what is self-esteem. So we're going to take about 3 minutes. We can all talk together, but we're going to come up with our own definition of what self-esteem is. So, Sam, did you want to start with what you thought self-esteem is?
I think self-esteem is how I see myself.
Or how you feel about yourself.
We're going in a circle. Just wait your turn, please.
Mine is being positive about myself.
Being positive about yourself.
Travis no skips.
It's probably about how you feel about yourself.
How you feel about yourself?
How you feel about yourself.
Yeah, how you feel or perceive yourself.
Okay. So we all have kind of the same ideas about how you feel about yourself, wanting to be positive about yourself. So I have here, what is self-esteem? And I found the definition ahead of time. And it says, definition is confidence in one's own worth or abilities, self-respect. So that is pretty much what we had kind of nailed on the head there with, is how you view yourself. And of course you're going to want to view yourself positively. So with that being said, the next thing we're going to do is identify some positive self-esteem traits, or some good self-esteem, and some bad self-esteem. And you can come up and write your traits. So, Sam, what would be a good self-esteem characteristic? Or what would something be good about? Or what would cause good self-esteem?
Being positive.
Being positive?
Make buckets of water on the bowl. Oh, I like pink.
Being positive. So elaborating on that a little bit, how many here, has anybody heard of the growth mindset, or having a growth mindset on matters? Okay.
No, I haven't. Please tell.
Thank you. So with a growth mindset, it's something that's really interesting. When I worked at the call center, companies use this actually. In a lot of Fortune 500 companies will go into this. And then at the school that I'm at right now too, the whole school is having growth mindset as their main criteria also. So it's something really interesting. All it is about having a positive mindset that you can do it. They have the most recent video that I had watched in one of the classes was the power of yet. So if you say, oh, I can't do this, you have to just add yet at the end of it. I can't do this yet.
Oh.
So that you'll be working towards it and you will be able to get to it in time. So definitely something I'd recommend looking into. Mike, how about you? Do you have an idea of something that would cause good self-esteem?
Caring about people the way you want to be treated, to treat the people the same way.
Yep, treating others the way you want to be treated. Exactly. And one thing to think about with that too is how you treat yourself is also important. Not only how you treat others, but you want to be treated the way that you treat yourself. So if you're going to sit there and say, oh, I'm really, oh, I feel really lousy today, or oh, I don't really feel like I look the best today. That's the energy you're putting out. That's if you're telling yourself that, other people are going to start telling you that too. So it's really important the energy that you put out and what you view about yourself is what others are going to view about you as well. So that's something you don't want to treat others the way you want to be treated, but treat yourself the way you want to be treated as well. Right. Travis?
Feel good as in like personal hygiene, dressing decent, and physically be positive. I don't know, you want me to write?
Yep, pick them. Yeah, so taking care of yourself. There are a lot of times when if I'm not feeling the best, a lot of times those are the days when I'll dress up the most because I'm like, hey, gotta fake it till I make it. So I'm gonna dress up, I'm gonna try to look my best, and hopefully the rest will fall into place. And a lot of the times it does. It's kind of amazing. The more you kind of take care of yourself and put effort into yourself, the more positive you'll be coming out. Right. Dad?
Eating the right stuff so you keep yourself regular.
Alright.
Because when things don't come out, nothing good happens.
Kind of like with Travis, being healthy.
I didn't say being healthy. I
Good
like my
hygiene.
donuts.
Well, good hygiene and eating healthy.
Good hygiene keeps you regular.
Well, if we don't wipe, it might hurt next time.
Well, you can't have a good self-esteem if you're all clogged up.
So true.
Me?
Yes.
You feel good when you get approval from other people.
Perfect. So let's.
Purple, of course.
So approval from others. So, and it kind of goes too with what I was talking about with Mike. The more approval you give out, a lot of times then people will feel more comfortable coming to you to give you approval also. So giving approval will sometimes revert back to getting approval. And sometimes giving approval kind of feels good too. It gives you that good positive vibe because it's sometimes, nice to be able to tell somebody, hey, you did a really good job.
On another little bit more serious note, you could get a good self-esteem by helping others.
Helping others. Let's see.
That might be more important than keeping regular.
So far we have a pretty good list. We have being positive, treating others the way you want to be treated, feeling positive and taking care of yourself, eating healthy, approval with others, and helping others. So getting that good recognition, helping each other out. Is there anything else that we want to add to this before we go to the next side? What I had here, some examples that I had, I think we kind of touched on it all, was compliments self-love or taking care of yourself, positivity, healthy, growth mindset. I'll add that on because we kind of touched on that a little bit. But that's pretty much what we all had listed here. Okay, so then what are some things that are the opposite then? What are some things that can do some bad self-esteem? Yes, Sam.
Being negative, like
Yeah.
negative Nancy.
Negative Nancy. I think I have other colors in here too. Yep, being negative. Because if you're negative and you have that negative fixed mindset, a fixed mindset is opposite of a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is you're fixed in your ways, nothing's gonna change. It doesn't matter how hard I try at something.
Right.
It is what it is. So, yeah, so being negative, Mike?
I think people judge people too quickly before they find out really what's going on.
Right, like being judged or being judged would cause to bad self-esteem. Did you want to write or you want me to write for you? Okay. I'll put down being judged.
Too quickly before you find out.
Right, because it's important sometimes that if you're around somebody that's negative all the time, you might want to, change who you associate with, but you don't want to judge that too quickly. You want to give people a chance,
Well,
and
people could have problems, and
maybe it's just a bad day, not necessarily.
it's just you shouldn't judge people too quickly.
Right. Yep. Well, that's a good one. Because also it doesn't feel good when somebody judges you real quickly or, thinks something of you.
And when they don't even
Yeah.
really know that much about you.
Right, if they do a bad judgment. Right. Travis?
I'll do the opposite of what you did, not taking care of yourself.
Yep.
If you stink, you ain't gonna feel good.
Right. If you don't take care of yourself.
Coming
I mean,
Travis.
they- but that's a good point. They say that sometimes, especially if somebody has like depression and things, that a lot of times they'll shut down where they're not gonna like take showers or take care of themselves. They'll just kind of stay in bed all the time. So, I mean, you don't really want to judge them too quickly. Sometimes that's something you may want to.
How do you spell judge?
J-U-D-G-E.
No, Judged. All right. Go in your room. Okay. All right, and what do you have for the opposite then? For bad self-esteem?
A lot of things. I think the biggest thing is when you have a can't-do attitude. No matter what people want you to do, you say, I can't do it.
The can't do, that fixed mindset of it's just fixed, it's not gonna change, this is what it is. That's where when you have the can't do, you gotta add that yet at the end. I can't do it yet.
Yeah, I like mindset better, because I don't know how to spell attitude. Not yet, at least.
Yeah. Can't do it yet. Alright. And Mom, your turn. What do you have?
I have sometimes when you're sad or mad and you're disappointed. Or you get up on the wrong side of the bed.
Okay. So, for when you're in a bad self-esteem, getting up on like the wrong side of the bed. So that,
You're just like angry and you don't know why.
okay. I know when,
But you don't want to be negative, like, you don't want to say, don't forget to do this, because then people might just forget.
Like
So you want to
personal
say,
negativity.
remember to do this. So you want to change your wording to be positive. So if you have a bad self-esteem, you might be using all kinds of negative words.
okay. So like a negative outlook or
Yeah.
like negative feelings.
Or about like waking up angry.
Like if you have a bad dream or something and
Yeah.
you wake up in a bad mood. Actually interesting, one of the I don't know, kind of along the lines of the growth mindset. This was more about the I'm trying to think of what it's called now.
Conscious language.
It's from the book The Secret. They had a video on it and I can't remember what it's called, but they talked about that where if you like wake up on the wrong side of the bed or you wake up in that bad attitude, you know, a lot of times it'll have a snowball effect. Not so much because, oh, this is the bad attitude that I'm having. It's because you wake up with a negative attitude and that's kind of what you're putting out into the universe, and that's kind of the signals that you're sending out is, oh, it's going to be a bad day. So if you're thinking it's going to be a bad day, chances are it's going to be a bad day.
It's like that 10%, 90% thing, and 10% of what happens and 90% how you think of it or
Yeah.
react.
Right, how you react to it, right? Oh, I remember what it's called now. It's the law of attraction. That's another thing. Besides growth mindset, I recommend looking into like the law of attraction with The Secret. Happiness Advantage touches is on it. There's a couple different books that are on it. But it's really interesting because the law of attraction, basically all it is that what you put out is what you're going to get back. So if you're going to be positive, happy-go-lucky, you're going to find yourself being a happier person because that's the energy you're putting out. If you're going to wake up being negative and angry, chances are you're going to have a very negative, angry type day. Okay, so to kind of wrap this up then, we kind of talked about then identifying reasons why we may have a low self-esteem or bad self-esteem, and some reasons why we may have some good self-esteem. So are there any other questions or anything else that we'd want to add in on this? I guess which type of self-esteem would you of course want to try to aim for?
Good.
Good self-esteem. And what are some things that you think that you can do to help others get a good self-esteem?
Compliment them.
You know, giving out compliments.
Don't be judgmental.
Yep, don't judge them. Like offering to help them.
Do the golden rule.
Yep. Treat others the way you want to be treated, including treating yourself the way that you want to be treated. That's also something that's important because if you treat yourself horrible, chances are other people are going to treat you horrible as well. So, alright, I think that is pretty much all that I have.